Hey Brex fam, and welcome back to the channel. This video was highly recommended. As you guys can see in that title, this is my labor and delivery story with my firstborn, which is my daughter. All right guys, please like, comment, subscribe, turn that post notification bell on so you do not miss when we upload a new video. All right guys, let's get right into the video. All right guys, so my labor and delivery story is definitely different from my son's. Totally a different experience. Pregnancy was totally different. With my daughter, it was a breeze. I didn't get sick barely. I got sick once when I ate Popeyes, I think because it was fatty and they probably didn't use like new grease. So that was once, and then I had African food once and I got sick. She just didn't like it. I never ate African food again when I was pregnant with her. I was like, oh, she don't like it. So I barely got sick with her, whereas though with my son I got a little more sick often. So I was high risk in both of my pregnancies, which means I was monitored a lot more. I had two my regimen was the same with both of them. I had 2 appointments a month. I had an ultrasound to see how the baby was developing, to make sure that the baby was developing on track, and I also had my regular OB appointment where they do the Doppler and check you and tell you to come back in a month. So and then of course at the end I started to do stress tests every week, and then the appointments was just abundant. It was like a whole job, but we did it and now we're here. Whereas though I had my son 10 days early, right? 12 days early, and I had my daughter 6 days early. So everybody was telling me, you had a second faster, especially my friend's mom. She was like, you had a baby faster the second time around. I was like, no, I'm not, but I did. She got 4 kids, so she know. But I was so in denial. But yeah, so all right, with my daughter, my labor was halfway induced, and I'll tell you guys why. So I had an appointment. As you guys know, when I've been pregnant the last 2 years, I've been doing Lyft and Uber just because I can make my own schedule, work around that. It works for me. When I'm sick, when I'm tired, I can like get that extra rest. I can do those extra things. So I don't have to call out of a job or anything. So that has been God sent for me. So, and that's a part of my story. So yeah, so the day I went in labor with my daughter, it was kind of the same in the beginning as my son. The night before, I was having contractions every 30 minutes. I didn't have any Braxton Hicks with my daughter. My son, I had Braxton Hicks. So that was a different feeling. So the night before, I didn't have good sleep. I was getting contractions every 30 minutes. So I was waking up like every 30 minutes. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, it's every 30 minutes. Like, she's not going to come, you know, soon. So, excuse me. The next day, I had an appointment. I had a stress test appointment. So my contractions overnight got close. They was 7 to 8 minutes apart. So I was on the phone with my friend and I'm like, girl, I'm not going to my appointment. They're going to try to keep me at the hospital. I cannot go. I'm not trying to stay. If I have her tomorrow, then cool. But I'm not trying to stay at the hospital because my contractions are like starting to get fairly close. So she's like, no, go see what they say, girl. You got to go, blah, blah, blah. So I was having contractions while I was driving Lyft. I was working. I was having them every 8 minutes, but they weren't intense. So I was like, I could work. You know, with my son, I worked as well, but I'm so happy I stopped when I did because he came fast. But so if you want to know about that labor and delivery story, go to my channel, go to our channel and watch that labor and delivery story because that was like crazy. So yeah, so they were 7 to 8 minutes apart. And I was still working. Everything was fine. I think my appointment was like at 3 or 4 o'clock. Oh, they don't have it at 4. I think it was like at 3 or 2 something. It wasn't like 2, it wasn't early. It was definitely in the afternoon, evening time. So I was like, okay, let me just go. So I went and when you go to a stress test, basically the baby's heart rate has to go 15 above their baseline. So if your baby's baseline is 130, they need to get to 145 for 15 seconds, and they have to do it twice before you can leave the stress test to like pass. So my daughter was not active. She was snoozy. She wasn't waking. I ate, I drank soda, I ate candy. She was just not budging. She was not going over her baseline. She was asleep, but I think it's because she was in the birth canal, and she was just like, y'all, I'm tired. I gotta get ready for birth. My heart rate is fine, but I am not about to be active for y'all. I'm in the birth canal, and I'm like ready to go. So yeah, y'all could kick rocks. So because she didn't pass, because she was not active, then I think it's a sonogram. Is that what an ultrasound is called? Like a sonogram? So the lady who did the sonogram, I think that's what you say. I'm not sure. Let me know down in the comments. But she had to come in and check my fluid and check the baby and everything. She had to look really in depth at everything. Which the baby was fine. She had to make sure she wasn't breached or nothing. So the baby was fine. So they were saying because she didn't go over that baseline, I have to now go over to my labor and delivery and be monitored for 5 hours. They have to monitor her heart for 5 hours, like make sure there's no complications because she's not being active. I was like, I knew I shouldn't have came. I do it because and they also saw that I was having contractions on the monitor. So it's like, I know I shouldn't have came. Like, I knew they was going to keep me. So I ended up going over there. I ended up talking to the obstetrician who was on call for that day, which me and her, we haven't had the best relationship, but like, she's still a doctor. She knows what's best. So I, talk to her or whatever. So she said, do you want to induce or whatever, which was a reason why I didn't really like her, because she tried to force induction on me. And I was like, no, I want my babies to come out on their own. I don't want it to be forced labor, because I feel like when people get induced, they tend to have a worse labor. So, like labor and delivery. So I was like, no. She was like, okay, I can monitor you for 5 hours, you and the baby. And then once I look at all of the, the heartbeat and everything, and how everything's going, I'll let you know, like, if you got to stay or be sent home. So I said, okay. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I think around 8 o'clock, she was done monitoring. But see, because I'm bigger, sometimes when a baby moves, like, they have to actually move the thing. So I feel like she didn't say it, but I knew it. It was kind of hard to really track it consistently. So like, the baby kept going on and off. So she didn't say it, but I think it was like hard to like really monitor it for a full 5 hours, because the baby was on and off. The nurses had to keep coming to try and like, move it around, and it wouldn't be on for some time. So she was like, so she came over and she was like, do you want to get induced? And I was like, at this time I'm tired, I'm having contractions. I was like, all right, I've been here, you might as well just admit me. Like, she's like, you might as well like just have the baby, you're here, whatever. Here I go falling for the okie doke. I stayed, and this is why I didn't get fully induced. So when I got sent to a room, which I wanted a tub in my room, and this hospital only had 2 rooms with tubs. I wanted to labor in the tub because it helps, the water really helps. But so when I got sent back to a room, I had a room with a tub. I was like, thank God, I'm about to take a bath, blah, 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 blah. No. Somebody came in active labor. They didn't have any more rooms but the room I was in, and I wasn't completely in active labor. Like, my contractions weren't 5 minutes apart, 2 minutes apart. Do y'all know they kicked me out the room to give that lady the room? And then they kicked me out that room to get a lady the room. So they put me back into like the little uncomfortable, like, kind of back area. So I went back there, and then I had to wait overnight, hours again, probably till like 12 o'clock or whatever. until I got a room. So by then, John's there. So got a room, and it was cool. So I didn't have a room with a tub then. I had a room with a shower. So cool. So the doctor finally comes in. She says, okay, I'm going to give you Cervidil. So for anybody who doesn't know, it's something, I can't remember. It's some type of medication that goes up there to basically soften your cervix, get you ready for labor. It's like the first step to induction. So I forget what time at night I had it, maybe before John came. I was kind of in and out of sleep. So I ended up getting the Cervidil, and then my contractions ended up coming fast. So they were like 2 minutes to 3 minutes apart overnight. And I was like, please just give me epidural. I need to sleep. John was over there snoring. And I'm like, every contraction, I'm like, really, dude? So I was just getting irritated. I'm like, they weren't like really, really bad, but because I have a high pain tolerance, but it just was the fact that it was annoying. Like, I can't sleep. Like, it is a pain to where as though you can't sleep through it. Like, it definitely has an effect, but it's not like, oh, I'm like severely hurt. You know, it wasn't too bad. Like, I could ease through them with breathing and just chilling out. So but it just was a lot. I didn't have no sleep the night before, so every 2 to 3 minutes I was like, can you just give me the epidural, because I need to get some type of sleep. Like, I'm in pain every 2 to 3 minutes. I just want to sleep, or I'm not gonna be able to push this baby out. So they gave me epidural, I think around 2 a.m. So yeah, around 7. My labor was definitely longer with my daughter. So around 7 a.m. the obstetrician came back in, and she said, oh, you're soft, like your cervix is soft. So she broke my water, and it was up from there. They did a shift change, and at 10 o'clock, my lovely obstetrician that I love so much, I wish I could say her name, she came in, and I was like, yes, she delivering my baby. So she came in, and she felt me, and she said, oh, girl. Oh, no, let me tell y'all. So before that happened, the nurse was like, okay, now I'm gonna give you Pitocin after she broke my water. I said, ma'am, I don't want to take that. She's like, I'm still gonna bring it in. I'm like, I don't want to take it, nurse, but go ahead and bring it in, because I'm not taking it. So the Pitocin is actually what makes you labor faster, makes the baby come. So I told her no. Girl, her and the doctor walked in at the same time, that the one I told y'all I love, and she was like, oh, I'm about to give you the Pitocin. Girl, she checked me, and my obstetrician said, oh, girl, you is +2. Don't even cough. I'm going to get the team so you can start pushing. So I was like, girl, deuces. I'm not getting Pitocin. I was so happy. My obstetrician saved me and felt that my daughter was coming, but she was +2. So her head was probably showing, you know, and she was like, you ready? So, y'all, when I tell you, when you get that epidural, you don't feel nothing. My legs was like noodles. My legs was like noodles. I couldn't feel nothing. They was like moving. I'm like, are they moving? so the team came in, and it's so funny because I was really not in pain. So I was laughing, cracking jokes, talking the whole time in between pushes. You know, I didn't really feel my contractions. I could feel pressure, but it didn't hurt. So I was cracking jokes, talking to the people. John can attest to this. I got her out in 3 minutes and 3 pushes. So no stress or anything. It was so easy. It was a breeze with her. My son, I went natural, which was it wasn't that bad, and I got him out in 2 pushes in 3 minutes. It was definitely a different experience, because the not necessarily pushing the baby out hurt for me. It was more like the contractions are what is really like but once the contractions over, you get like a relief, and then once the baby's out, you really get a relief. Even though like taking my placenta out and everything was really kind of painful, and then pushing down, you know, in your stomach and stuff is uncomfortable. But yeah, that was my labor and delivery story with my daughter. It was definitely different from my son. But I wouldn't have it no other way. I love my daughter. She gave me an easy pregnancy. She gave me an easy labor and delivery fast. I get them out fast. I don't push too long. You know, I try to keep in my mind, push from where the baby need to come out of and breathe and push as hard as you can and just listen and navigate things. So that definitely was a different experience for me. She definitely was easy. But I got Cervidil, but I did not get Pitocin, or I didn't get a balloon. I didn't get any of that. After she broke my water, things went fairly quickly, which after my water broke with my son, I had him an hour later. After my water broke with my daughter, I had her 3 hours later. So I can say with my daughter, my pregnancy was fairly easy. I got epidural. I wasn't in a lot of pain, so it definitely was nice. With her, both of the times I was in the hospital, y'all, all I ate was omelets all day because I hate hospital food. I ate omelet every day. The omelets was good, and they got the nice yellow cheddar. That's what I ate. But yeah, I stayed in the hospital with them both for two days, and then I got sent home. They didn't have any complications, neither one of my kids. The only thing with my daughter, she has a white forelock, which is just her birthmark. You know, so yeah, that's my labor and delivery story with my daughter. Pretty easy. Loved it. All right, guys, this is the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys like hearing my stories about having my babies. So I love you all. Thanks for watching me. Please like, comment, subscribe, press that notification bell so you don't miss when we upload. I love you all, Brax fam. Y'all are the best. Thanks for watching us. Tune in for the next video.